here
inserting data into the
my
MySQL.
friend, yeah, you know, who is creating a movie service, a impl bean? Spring container. Who is creating data source? Spring container. And in movie service impl, Spring container is setting data source using XML file. That is clear to you? Here,
Yes.
Spring container is
Yeah.
creating this bean.
Mm-hmm.
Bean has one attribute data source, and this is set by Spring container, right? But you
Yes.
see, in this program, I'm auto-wiring data source and JDBC template I'm creating myself.
Yes.
So this JDBC template, instead of creating by the programmer, you can ask to create by Spring container also. What is it?
Spring
We can't
container
use
can do it for you.
But there is a lot of background noise. Please mute yourself. So this JDBC template, who can make the bean of it? Spring container. Let me hand over this responsibility. What I'm saying? Hey, I am saying, hey, Spring container, Mr. Friend.
You assemble this thing for me.
Yeah. Instead of creating myself, I would say, hey, Spring container, can you make a bean of it? No? JDBC template, right? Hello. And the Spring JDBC template has an attribute data source. Which attribute, man? Data source. So what happened right now? I am creating a bean of JDBC template, and this JDBC template is referring data source. You got my point? Hello, other people.
Yes.
Yeah, we are.
Like I'm telling you very clearly.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. As long as you are getting it or not replying is okay. But I came to know sometime, you know, you are not understanding and you are sitting idle, right? Remember it. So I'm creating JDBC template bean, right? And this bean I need to inject inside
The movie service implemented.
Is implemented
movie
template.
service simple says, hey, I need data. I don't need data source. Now I need JDBC template, right? So instead of making
Yes.
here, I'm going one step ahead. I'm not auto wiring data source. I'm injecting inside it JDBC template. And JDBC template inside JDBC template, what we are injecting?
Data source. Data source.
Data source. Like here, I'm creating data source, and data source is injected inside JDBC template, and JDBC template is going to be injected inside
The service simple class.
This is the attribute name. Who does not understand this much? Please let me know.
I don't understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
Let me tell you. Actually, here I am creating a bean of what?
JDBC template.
First of all, here I am making a bean of data source. Right? This is okay.
So the
This
data
yellow
source is
yellow one is data source, and data source bean is used by
JDBC template.
JDBC
template. And then JDBC template you see in the photo. JDBC template is used by
Service simple class.
So this is the way. So outer class is movie service IMPL. I hope you know who's using whom. Movie service IMPL is using JDBC template, and JDBC template is using data source. Somebody says it's not clear. Now it's clear in the code. If you see the code, right, I'm creating a bean of movie service IMPL, and movie service IMPL has an attribute. Which attribute it has? JDBC template. And in JDBC template, I am injecting my JDBC template, and JDBC template is using data source. This is clear to everybody? Creating data source bean, one object. This object I am pushing into JDBC template object.
Yes.
And JDBC template object I am pushing inside movie service impl. So in this code.
So why did we delete the
Huh?
What? Delete the old code.
That we don't need it, because earlier I'm using the data source. From data source I was creating JDBC template, right? I've no need to do this. Can you see this? You can directly use this JDBC template. Hmm? Hmm. Hello.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Here I am creating a bean of data source. Data source means connection. From data source I am creating which bean?
JDBC template.
JDBC template. So from data source I am creating JDBC template, and from JDBC template I am creating
The service simple class. You
movie
know,
service
simple.
impl. So this is your data source. Wait, this is not clear to whom? Tell me. I can explain you again and again. Data source bean, and we have JDBC template bean, and JDBC template bean is using data source, and JDBC template is now used by movie
Of the
service
service implementation.
impl. That's it. But this is the same thing. Same thing I have done in XML file.
Again, can I ask a question?
You can ask many questions.
Okay. I have seen like they use different types of data source classes, like the driver manager and the basic data source stuff. Is there any difference, or we can use any of them, like to create our
You can
beans?
use any of one of them, right? Not much
Is there any
difference.
specific situations where we have to use the basic data source versus driver manager data source?
Actually, basic data source or all these things are different implementation. Someone is coming from Spring, some may be coming from DBCP, right? So these are the different library. So you can use, I think, anyone, not a problem.
Okay.
Anybody confused regarding this? All auto wiring. Other people who is sitting idle. I just wanted to know. I'm just emphasizing for you people only. Otherwise, I can move ahead fast. So
So
you need to.
once you put the JDBC template, you don't need to create the data source. You can
No,
just.
no. We don't no need to create data source. What do you mean by that? About data source we are creating still. Can you see this?
Mm-hmm.
We are creating data source, and from data source I am creating JDBC template bean. This is data source, and using this data source I am creating JDBC template bean, and this JDBC template bean I am injecting inside movie service so that movie service can directly use this template. That's it. Don't be
Sir,
stopping with me.
can you
How
explain
many
that one more
beans are
time,
there?
please?
Are they three?
Hmm. Wait a second. Give me a second. Who said? Please, where is the confusion? Let me know. This is a bean, right? Object. Data source object. Who is using data source object?
The.
JDBC template.
Mm-hmm.
And JDBC template is used by movie service simple. So movie service simple is using JDBC template, and JDBC template is using data source. Data source is nothing. It's just what object pointing
Used
to
to
connection. So
connection
what's
JDBC.
confused? देख यहाँ पे you know what confusion you have. I'm creating a bean, and this bean will help me to connect where
JDBC template.
data. This will database connection, and then I'm creating another bean. So in this I'm creating three bean. This is my eh? This is my first bean. People in the crowd. This is my first bean.
Right.
Yes, sir. Hmm.
That is the blue one. So if you have a confusion, that's very genuine, right? If anybody will teach you, confusion will be there. I agree, but you should ask questions to make it clear. So this is my first bean. Who's my second bean? JDBC template, right? Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So data source is a pointing to connection, and JDBC template is the wrapper class, which is used to fire the query, and internally uses data source. And this is one. Sorry, two should be here. This is two. Make sense? And this is the third bean. Third bean
Data
is using.
source, the third bean.
And they all connected, right?
Yeah. What happened?
So the
Who
third
has said?
one used JDBC template.
Can you come again?
The movie service that used JDBC template,
Exactly.
and JDBC template used data source.
Very nice. Let me write it.
It's like superclass and
Impel is using JDBC template.
So movie service implementation is dependent on the JDBC template, and JDBC template is dependent upon data source, right?
Very nice. Very nice. And
it's
data
like
source is pointing to connection.
superclass, right?
Pardon?
I'm
Somebody
back
saying
from
something. You use a headphone, good quality of headphone. JDBC template uses. Template is using data source. And data source is a pointing to connection to the data source is representing the connection. Hey, any question, query anybody has? It's confusing.
Nagendra, so
Can you
inside the movie service implementation, can we just pass the reference or JDBC template and data source together?
Yeah, of course, man. For
Okay.
every questions, I have answer, general answer. Yes, we can. So this program is clear to you, everybody, how everything is happening, and
can you explain the same concept in the XML file, how they are related?
I told you the same thing. What's not clear to in this? Let me open it.
I just want to see the XML file, the code, how it is interrelated.
See, this is data source, and using this data source, I am creating another bean, JDBC template, and this JDBC template we are going to use inside movie service IMPL. This is the attribute name. This must be exist inside this. This must be exist inside this. So this is the ready-made class, right? This is Spring JDBC provided class. Like one thing I'm telling you, if you are not doing practice, yesterday you haven't done anything and you just came for the class, you cannot understand it 100%. It's not possible. Fine? Because every day is related to each other. I don't know. क्या करूं मैं किससे पूछूं whom I should ask? This is clear, or you have any confusion at any point? Let me know. Because eventually I have movie service, right? Bean. This bean where I'm pulling it. This is the definition, right? We have JDBC template, and using JDBC template, you can what I'm doing. Fire the query. And when you fire the query, it is taking two parameters. First parameter is your query. Second parameter is data. Data is as a object array. Clear? And where we are pulling this bean, the original bean, where you are pulling it, you are pulling in the main method by creating a Spring container, and you are pulling your bean over here, right? Like it is not easy unless until you do it, right? So in this, what operation I am performing here? I am performing only save operation. Let me write this code right now. When you say find by ID and passing MID, this data is coming from database, or it is hard coded value?
It's hard-coded value.
Want to fetch from database, you can write the query same fashion. Let's try string what SQL equals to how you write it.
Select from.
I normally you can write the star also, but I'm not writing star. Why? Select from, you have to write the column name, right?
Yeah. From table.
MID. No, first of all, column. Select column name. I'm sorry. From, hello, Anna? It's okay. Select MID, name, director, rating, duration, year, data entry from movie table, movies table. Where? Any guess? MID is question mark. You say, hey, I'm interested only those column, those rows, which ID is this? Make sense?
Okay, so specific ID
Yeah.
will get the data. Okay.
And if you want to fetch the data, you can use JDBC template. Like what you do, JDBC template, and here you can use query for object. Why?
Yes.
If only one row will come, how many rows?
It's
When
just
you fire
one.
this query, this is primary key. Only one row will come, and that row will have all those things. If you don't know JDBC programming, right? I don't know, Sarika has taught you or not, right?
She did. She did.
She did it. Then you
Yeah,
should
she
know
did
it.
well. Yeah.
Like here, and here you have to pass the placeholder input, right? So how you can pass it? Same fashion, object,
Object.
data, and here you
Create
have
an
only
object.
one
Yeah.
one input. So you can
MID.
pass this as a second parameter, right? And third parameter, you have to pass in what kind of class you want to hold the value. So you can use new bean property that you have to mark kind of bean property row mapper. See, this is the quick string, right? And
Okay.
here you have to say you want to hold data in which class. So bean property row mapper is saying when you fetch the data, right? All the column will come and this column data will go into this object. How? Bean property row mapper will make an object of movie. MID will go into MID, name will go into name, director will go into director accordingly. And eventually you will get a full-fledged movie object. Please let me know if you digest it or not. Oh, magic.
Narendra, can you please just explain it just one more time?
Sure.
Thank you.
Let me explain to you. This is the magic of Spring JDBC. See. So you know very well, when you fire the query, you say I'm interested with the MID, all the record. For all the record, a particular record.
It's
Any
just the
guess?
particular record.
You are interested in particular record,
Yes.
this. So it will fetch how many rows?
Just one.
Only one rows because so when you fire the query, I don't know you know this or not, right?
Yes.
This. So it will fetch one row only, right? One row. Suppose you are passing IMID equals to 1, right? This is the SQL query, am I right? This one.
Yeah.
And this is your input data. MID is suppose in 1, right? So in this case, when you fire the query for object will fetch all the data in the memory, right? So you are saying using bin property row mapper. You say, hey, bin property row mapper, take my MID and populate into movie object, right? Name in this object, rating, movie object attribute, right? Duration. You got it? For only one row, right? Hmm.
Yes.
So bin property row mapper is doing what? It's creating
It's
an instance
populating.
of, let me write it. In above example, right? Bean property row mapper is creating instance of movie class, right? Class and setting all the values of result set, right?
Yes.
Row inside the object and finally returning it. Make sense?
Yeah.
That's it. Hello, my friend. New bean property row mapper is making an object of movie, and whatever results come from the query, it's set into the movie and returned to you. Oh my God! Earlier you were doing how? If remember, as a layman, In JDBC programming, earlier you remember, I forget it, rs.next, Anna?
While are
Yeah, while you use when you have multiple row, right? In case of one row, you use only if.
okay.
I'm correct.
Yeah.
Yes,
I'm always
ma'am.
correct.
Yes,
Yeah.
got next.
I say. Earlier you were doing like this layman, okay?
Yes.
Earlier you may be because somebody does not have done JDBC programming, he cannot understand at all. This is very difficult for him, and
So
I
this is
cannot do
the
anything.
old style of doing things.
This is the old style of doing thing which is already covered by the Sarika. I am teaching
Yes.
you new style of doing the programming. Okay. Ab old mein how people do, I don't know. Fine. If somebody does not know JDBC programming, please raise your hand, and I can plan session with my under trainer. I will not
Well,
teach you.
well, I have never done JDBC programming. I'll be
Why?
happy to take it.
Why you
I
haven't done
mean,
it?
I did the same thing like what Sarika taught us, so I don't know whether that is JDBC programming or is broader than that.
No, no. Whatever
No,
she
that
taught you, that is JDBC programming.
yeah, she taught results set and stuff like that. She taught,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
but
But
like
still,
maybe it's not really, like
let me
there
talk.
probably is more, but
Yeah.
she covered it.
That's fine.
But this is totally different syntax.
Spring is totally different. I'm teaching you totally different thing. Spring syntax, but it's easy, right? Compared to that, Spring syntax, hello, is different and super easy compared to plain JDBC. This
Yes.
syntax is called plain JDBC. This is called plain JDBC. Guys, whoever want session on JDBC, please drop a message on chat. That's it. Hey,
So
I need to learn JDBC programming.
I have one question again.
Please go ahead.
So the bean property romapper is more like advanced class where we don't have to create a class that actually implements the romapper interface. That's
Yep.
it makes it easier.
Yeah,
This
I
makes
wanted to
easy,
ask you the same thing.
and you can one by one, and you can write your custom bean
Okay.
property row mapper also. You can write your custom if you want.
Okay. Yeah, this is easier because that one is, I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I'm teaching easiest thing,
Yeah.
but you don't say easy, right? Because other
It is
people are
easy.
there. They may be not taking easy because that may be new, right?
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, I just wanted to know, Pramod, what about you? You understand this syntax? Query for object method. Query for object method is taking SQL query and it is taking data MID, which is going to be replaced over here. When result will come, it is going to map into movie object and returning to you. Magic,
Yeah, I'm getting a kind of it.
kind of. Okay, cool.
Nagendra, why would you specifically select every column where you could use just select movie
Star.
from that where it equals something? Well, you don't have to mention every single column.
You can also
You know what I
use
mean?
like select star from this, then where MID equals to place
Yeah,
whatever.
select. Yeah. Select
Select.
start
Select.
from.
Listen to me. Select star is not a good practice. You should
Okay.
always use column name specifically.
Okay.
Because tomorrow, suppose in this 20 columns are increased, unnecessarily it will bring 20 fields in database, in memory, right? Which is not good practice.
Okay.
Okay,
So
that's
when you
true.
write query, don't write star.
Okay.
That is
Okay.
not good recommendation. Okay, that's cool. So can you make a static reference to non-static method query for object from the
That's the error I'm getting there. Cannot make a static reference to non-static method.
No,
I don't know why it's giving me
actually
that.
I got it. You are not supposed to make any method static, right? Because what I said? Oh, hero, you cannot make it static, okay? If you make it, it will give you the error over here, same error.
I don't
Because
have that.
if method is static, it cannot access non-static JDBC template. That's the reason. So you cannot make your any method static. Make sense?
Yes.
I The thing is, I don't have any method that's static, and it's still giving me that. So I'm trying to figure out why it's doing that.
Yeah, you want to share the screen? Just be quick, please.
Yeah, I got it.
And another thing is when I'm doing programming, you don't do a parallel. You just watch my session, okay? And you do later. Please show me. Look, here we need to understand. We need to take care of those people who are not good in programming and all, okay? Can you go up? Upar jao. Can you go up?
Yep.
Actually, you are doing wrong. Spelling mistake. Can you scroll down? JDBC template, you are using class name. J should be small. Can you scroll down?
This one?
No, that's okay. That's okay. You reach to the error.
This one?
I mean, line number 36, JDBC template, J should be small. You should not use class name. You should use variable name. Okay.
Okay.
Stands
Okay.
simple.
Okay.
Cool.
Perfect.
Let's move ahead. Hey guys, you understand this funda? Find ID. Similarly, I can write a method who can give me all the data, you know. Hey, I want to fetch find all. Find all means all the movies, okay? In that case, you need to no need to pass a where class. Why? You say I want to fetch everything from the movie table, right? No
Yes.
input. Like in this case, instead of using query for object will give you one record. You have to here use only query. Query means it is going to give you multiple movies.
Yes.
What is it? It is going to give you multiple movies. You understand this funda?
Yes.
It is going to give you the multiple movies and it is returning what? List of movies.
Yes.
You got confused? And you can add this method in your superclass. My friend, you got this funda or got confused?
Yeah.
I got confused, Nagendra. Can you please just
Confused, man. Like here you said query, right? Let me explain you. Like it shows, I'm not blaming anybody. It shows like we don't know JDBC. I have doubt. Here, you see,
It was at the end, so we didn't learn it.
I'm crying. Here, like when you fire this query, you tell me all the data will come into the memory or not when this query is fired. Yep.
Yep.
Yes.
So when all the data comes into the memory, so here you are saying query. Query means you want to fetch all the
string
record,
data? Yeah.
right? So when you do it, your all the data will come into the memory like this. Zoo, right? Yep. Your all the data is coming in the memory like this. Huh? So like here multiple record is coming, right? So bean property row mapper what does?
It maps the result set with an object.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually one row, for one row, right? First row, bean property row mapper will create an object of movie.
Yes.
I mean, how many object? First object, one row, one object, movie, M1, new movie.
They populate.
And then bean property row mapper automatically populate MID into MID attribute, name into name, director into director, done. So one row data is ready. Similarly, bean property row mapper, since it is query, so it will iterate other result until all the row is finished.
Okay.
Are with me? So now I got how many movies? N number of. If we have N
Okay.
record, N number of movies. Then finally, who? Bin row property mapper is this is internal, okay? Bin row property mapper will create the list of movies. It is internal, right? This code is hidden. It will create list. After that, in list, bin property row mapper will populate all the movies, right? Movies dot add. Movie one. Are with me?
Yes.
Who is going to do this job internally? Bean property
Spring
row
container.
mapper. Yeah,
I mean,
bean
yeah.
property row mapper means a spring container.
Yeah.
Finally, this constructed list will be returned to you.
In the form
Earlier,
of list.
this yeah. Earlier you were doing it manually in the while loop. Remember? Yes. Now, who is doing this job behind the scene?
Bean property.
Being a property row mapper.
Bean property row mapper of Spring JDBC. Oh my God. It means Spring JDBC is magic. Spring JDBC is magic for JDBC programming. It's fine. Hey, you got this, Funda?
Yeah, it's clear now.
The query will always return list. You have to remember.
Okay.
Query. Wow. This query method always query
Return
return
list.
list. You have to mug it. And query for object will always return one object.
One object.
So, Nagendra, we don't have to create a specific class where we do the object of the bean class dot set, then inside the result set. You don't have to do
Sometimes
that.
you have to do.
Even in this
Not
case?
always. In this case, not.
In this
You
case,
need
you
to
don't
do
have
it when your column name and attribute name are different. Then you have to do it manually. This will always return an object.
So Nagendra, if we want to find a specific data, we need to use query for object, right? And if you want to get and if you want to get every data, we need to use just dot query.
Yeah. Then here I want to find find count. You know find count?
Yeah,
How many record you have?
Yeah.
So you have this syntax. Select count star.
Count.
This.
Okay.
Okay.
So this will give you only
the number of records which we have.
Under record. So here you can again use query for object. See the style?
Yeah.
And here you are not going to return any particular object. You are going to return the particular type. So here you can use integer.class. I mugged it. Or you can Google it. .class. And here, you can just write integer. Count. Like I know all those things. It's not like I'm thinking and writing it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Like I have all the method which can fetch a record, particular record as per the ID, who can save the data, who can return all the record, who can give you the number of count. I'm just going to write one more query, delete. Help me. Delete query is not easy, super easy. Oh,
it's easy.
Delete by ID. So if you are deleting by ID, you are not going to return anything. Query will be, query, delete.
Yes.
Delete from movie table where MID is this.
Yes.
So when you delete or when you save the data, in that case you have to use update method only.
Yes.
Which method? And no need to use bin property row mapper. Bin property row mapper we use only for select. What is it?
Okay.
If you want to push your data, if you want to update your delete your data, we can use update method and we don't need bin property row mapper. Bin property row mapper only we need for select query.
Select.
Right? If you see, so note mapper is used for select query. This is clear, guys. Delete from movie table where MID is this. So query and data. That's it. We don't require bin property row mapper. Bin property row mapper we need for select query. For insert query, for delete query, and for update query, we always use update method. And this return only number of rows has been deleted or updated. What is return? Number of rows, right?
Yes.
Rows is deleted. This is out. Number of rows is deleted. Like whatever I'm teaching you, if you understand all those things, you can do anything. If you want, you can note down somewhere. Fine. I don't know. I need to know your feedback. It's what time started? 12. Hey, what about people, my dear friends? This code are clear to everybody? I can call it this method, right? You want to call this method? Yeah. You can write the min method. If you want to fetch all the data. What?
Yeah, find all.
Find the here. I'm going to make movie main 2. You see my speed?
Okay.
Copy
Yeah,
paste.
you just copy paste.
It's super fast. Your answer should be not super fast. I can also do it. Find all. And I'm going to use Java 8. And if you forget it, it's not bad, very bad, because already I spent my 1 week on it. And you have recording. So if you use Java 8, nobody can say I don't know. Okay, for each. Hey, I'm going to use Java 8 without asking.
System.out.
That's why I taught you. Nobody can say. Done. So if I run it, it will create a Spring. But you need to understand how things are happening behind the scene, right? Yeah. If you want to count the number of record, it is up to you. Ooh. I know number of record you want to count, like movie 3. You see my speed? Everything is same, and here you can call
just find by ID.
Find by ID, and this ID you can take from the. You see how much I'm lazy is. Already I have done, right? I'm not going to write even single line of code because everything is already I wrote it. Enter movie ID, MID. So MID is an integer value, so you can write next int. MID. Clear? Method is find by ID. So it will return single movie. Single movie you can print like in simple way. Let me run it. Okay. I have only 2 ID, 1 and 2. So I want to see movie of ID 2. Thank you. Done. Anybody got confused? No. Let me make a delete. Delete will be similar, right? You see speed 4. Enter movie IMID to be deleted. So yeah, here you can call the method delete by
ID.
It will not return anything. And here voice crying. Hello, it is deleted successfully. Oh, so you after that you want to show also? Yeah. You see, man, how much lazy I am. So what you can do that if you want to show, you see speed. So after deleting it, you can show it, right?
Yes.
And remaining data. Let me run it. Super fast. You want to delete 2? Yep. After that, you have only 1 record. No? Done. Got it?
Nice.
If you want to save the record, you can use this method. Let me run it. I'm going to push 2 more record, okay? Movie is, this director is Omega. It is pushed. Why is the why I'm using it? Why I'm calling this? No, give me a sec. I think here unnecessarily I'm calling this method, right? I'm not supposed to. Yes, you know? But necessarily I was calling the method. Movie is killer. Jack. How many record I pushed? 2 record. Total becomes 3. Let me push more.
Yeah, 1, 2.
Anger. Director is danger. Yeah, magic. And you can show it should show 4 records. So I'm teaching you correct. See?
Nice.
I want you should go and do the practice. Things should be on your tips and ask many questions tomorrow. Because tomorrow I'm going to teach you the same thing with annotation. How? With annotation. Same thing. No XML file. Tomorrow I will say, I hate XML file. You say hate? Yeah, I hate XML file. I'm not
Auto-hiring
going to
and
use XML file. We are going to use only annotations, right? So tomorrow we are going to learn what is the annotation,
Yes.
what annotation is, when it was introduced, what are the different type of annotations. Clear? If you want to read a little bit about
Okay.
annotations, you can refer my website. Then you can refer whatever website you like, right? I'm just saying. Uh, I'll update it. I said
Oh,
I'll
you have
update it, right?
you have a Spring too?
No, Spring is not. I'll add the notes. Whatever I'm teaching you, all the
Yeah,
diagram I will
because I was
include.
looking for it.
No,
I
Spring
couldn't
is not
find it.
really. I don't have time to update it. It's not easy job. Nowadays I don't have time.
Yeah, okay.
So, but you can read it once, I would say.
Yeah. Are you gonna use just or create also annotations here? Just only use, right? The already
No, no,
defined annotation.
no. I'll teach you also how to define custom annotations, and
Oh,
that will be
tomorrow?
used. Not tomorrow. Define a
Okay.
process custom annotation in Java. I don't know. This is very simple and bad. I don't know. It's not good.
Najendra, between
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 what?
XML and annotation, which one is your favorite?
Between XML and annotation.
Yeah.
Annotation is favorite for everybody. That's why for me also. Everybody like annotation because annotation is easy.
Isn't it better to use like both of them? It will be a lot
No, no,
easier
no.
because
Like here, I would say
some things are like easier with
no, no,
annotation,
no.
some are like easier with XML.
Annotation is easy to use. It makes your thing compact. That's benefits.
No, I'm saying like what I'm trying to say is like if you're trying to create, for example, the driver manager data source as a inside your configuration class, you know, you're gonna have to write the codes. I mean, it's not hard, but it might be a lot of process. You can copy and just paste it with the XML configuration. Don't you think so?
No,
Like
you can come
defining the
again.
data, it's JDBC, defining the data source like in the Java without XML.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
So you want to say XML seems to be difficult?
No. I'm saying like if you use XML and annotations both at the same time, because like if you avoid these annotations, like this annotation where you have to define every class, like the driver manager data source class, you have to define it in Java code, right? Is that what you mean, or just only you keep these ones?
In annotation, everything will go in Java class.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
That's right.
Everything has to
Only
be written in Java.
yeah. That's it. I'll teach you tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay.
Okay. So guys,